So it looks like the test results are in when it comes to Wendy Williams and her mental capacity, and you're not going to believe the results. Let's get into another update when it comes to the Wendy Williams saga.
Here we go now.
Washington, D.C., it will almost be a week. It's almost a week before the Kempire After Dark, the villain era, comes back to Washington, D.C. And I know there's a lot of things going on in Washington right now, and some of you might be fearful to come there. No. Do not allow fear to stop you from living your life and having a good time. I'm coming down there. I'm going to have a good time, and we're going to talk about everything and everyone. And I have exclusive information that I want to share with you guys. You're not going to believe this story, but maybe you will believe this story. Make sure you get your tickets so that you are the first to know this exclusive story that I'm going to tell only at the Washington, D.C. show. And then I'll repeat it at the New York City show on September 12th. Get your tickets today for the Washington, D.C. show on August 22nd, or get a live stream ticket for the New York City show. That will have a live stream, only show that will have a live stream. And you can watch it from anywhere in the world, and you'll have it for 1 week, but you have to buy your ticket before the show on September 12th. Ticket information on the Kempire After Dark, the villain ever, will be available in the description. Let's have a good time talking about the hot topics, talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and maybe Potomac. And more information will be available in the description. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So it was just a couple of days ago that we gave you a Wendy Williams update in regards to what's happening legally. And they did not want to move forward with the A&E lawsuit that Sabrina Morrissey, Wendy Williams' guardian, brought against the television network because of the Where is Wendy Williams documentary did not make them or the courts look good. That's important to note. But they did not want to move forward with the A&E lawsuit until they figured out whether or not Sabrina would remain the guardian or whether or not Wendy Williams would remain in a guardianship, because multiple individuals, Wendy Williams' family and her ex-husband, were challenging the guardianship. Well, now, according to TMZ, the health results that we told you probably conveniently would be revealed to the public are now being revealed. So TMZ writes this just a moment ago. They said Wendy Williams took a series of cognitive tests this week, and a new report states that the results back up her original diagnosis. The former talk show host's official test results have not been released, but People magazine reports that Wendy was again diagnosed in frontotemporal dementia and aphasia. She was first diagnosed with both diseases in 2023. But I will say this, I'm not a doctor. However, if you've seen the most recent paparazzi outings with Wendy Williams and her family and friends, she doesn't seem like someone with dementia. Does she seem 100% Wendy Williams that we know from the Wendy Williams show or the radio days? Definitely not. However, dementia is something that progressively gets worse. What we have not seen is Wendy Williams get progressively worse. And this goes for individuals that have actually broken bread with Wendy, that have sat down with Wendy and had conversations with her. Everyone, including Harvey Levin from TMZ, says that she definitely doesn't display someone that has dementia, where you're progressively seeing a decline. So TMZ continues. They said that we told you that the legal filing made by Williams of court-appointed guardian Sabrina E. Morrissey earlier this month, in which her lawyers wrote, medical specialists have formed an opinion concerning Wendy's current neurological condition and diagnosis, including whether she has the ability to make decisions. Morrissey is asking to put a pause on litigation with A&E over the documentary, Where's Wendy Williams? Wendy's attorney, Joe Tacopina, has vowed to hold everyone responsible for the guardianship, and Wendy is still fighting to get out of it, though it's unclear how this reported diagnosis confirmation will affect her fight. Here's the thing. Just because she might have this diagnosis doesn't mean she has to be in a guardianship. She has friends and family, more importantly, family. If you saw the Where is Wendy Williams documentary, her sister said she was more than willing to be Wendy's guardian. She's also an attorney. Okay. They said, by the way, people citing court documents say evaluators performed a significant number of tests, both medical and neuropsychological, and scans, including brain imaging. So it seems that they were quite thorough. Wendy was taken from the assisted care facility, which she likened to a luxury prison in the TMZ documentary, TMZ Presents Saving Wendy, in March to take a series of tests, by the way, unclear if these are the same tests people are citing in their report. Because you remember, she ended up going to the emergency room and they did some very basic tests. So I don't know if it was as elaborate. Again, I'm not privy to the actual exams that Wendy went through recently, but the ones that she received in the hospital were very basic. Okay, so they said sources told TMZ at the time that Wendy passed a capacity test with flying colors. They've reached out to Wendy's attorney, Takapina, for comment. So far, no word back. I want to go back to People Magazine because, as I told you before, and this is not a slight at People Magazine, I understand these media outlets have relationships with networks, celebrities, and possibly attorneys. It wouldn't shock me that conveniently this information is coming out. This private health information is coming out to the media. Literally, in the video I just did talking about this, I said, don't be surprised that these usually very private information will be revealed to the public so that they can change the public's view on what's happening with Wendy Williams. So I wanted to add some of the details from People Magazine's exclusive on this. They said, in the court documents, an attorney for Williams' guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, requests the court extend the guardianship for 3 months with an end date of November 5th. The attorney also notes that complications have arisen due to various parties, including counsel for certain members of Williams' family, Williams' ex-husband, and others have indicated their intention to challenge both the guardianship itself as well as Ms. Morrissey's status as the guardian. They said this update comes 5 months after the former daytime talk show host was removed from her assisted living facility and taken to the hospital by the New York City Police Department on March 10th. The following day, Williams called into Good Day New York, where she claimed that she received mental capacity tests following her 2023 dementia diagnosis and claimed that she was cognitively impaired. She said at the time, I passed with flying colors, she alleged, asking her caretaker, Janalia Monterosa, who accompanied her to the hospital, to, quote, elaborate on everything. She at the time said she had those tests. She's been deemed that she is not incapacitated. Monterosa told the show's anchor, Rosanna Scotto, I think it's great news and it's public and everyone knows factually that Wendy's not incapacitated. When Scotto asked if Williams was satisfied with the independent examination of her psychological well-being, Williams exclaimed, absolutely, this is what I want, and that is what I got. Here's my thing. I will say that Wendy Williams is not the Wendy Williams that we know and love on The Wendy Williams Show, on her radio program. However, that doesn't change the fact that it feels, I'm not saying that it was definite, it feels as if Wendy was not in the best place before people started putting pressure on Sabrina Morrissey. Meaning that she was not able to see her family. She wasn't able to call her family on her own. Because of the pressure that the public, the fans, and her friends and lawyers have put on this whole situation, that's part of the reason why we're able to see Wendy hanging out with her niece, going out with friends and family, going out to dinner. She seemed so happy. Her energy was so much better, okay? Just because she might have this diagnosis, again, diagnosis, doctors, we can get to conspiracy theories. I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories. You can read between the lines of what I'm saying. But what I'm also saying is that just because she might have this diagnosis doesn't mean that she needs to be in a conservatorship where her family is not the ones that are over it and protecting her. She has a son. She has a sister. She has a father. She has a brother. Everyone that can help with Wendy Williams. Wendy does not need to be under Sabrina Morrissey to thrive and be healthy. Especially when we see that Sabrina Morrissey has not done the best job. In my opinion, she hasn't done the best job. Guys, this is breaking news. I want to know your thoughts and opinions on this latest health update. Sidebar, I know we talk astrological stuff. Salome Bella did a reading on Wendy. It was her very first reading on Wendy, maybe a few weeks ago. And she actually mentioned that we would get some sort of health update on Wendy come the fall. This is a little bit earlier than the fall, but just wanted to add that. We did an actual members, I think members only live, where I talk about and play Sloan Bella's predictions. You can check that out. I'll put that somewhere here on the channel. Guys, let's continue this conversation in the comment section. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
Here we go now.